Alright, so this idea came to me while I was reading through my Discord and the lovely people having their typical debates, just tomfoolery, as usual. This came from Nameless King, or Ken, whatever he was before, he just recently changed his name. He was writing some stuff about Uta and Kaneki fighting, and then I had kind of like this massive revelation surrounding Uta and like why he would fight Kaneki. Like, you're probably wondering what's going on. Don't worry, I'll give context in a minute, but I just came to this massive realization. I was like, wow, like that could really make sense. And as usual, these are all far and few between. Like, these are completely stretched, but I kind of like this idea. Now, if you want to have more insight on what this video is going to be about, I recommend two videos that I've done about Uta. Now, note, these are not my ideas, alright? Like, the whole Uta being the original One-Eyed King is not my idea. The videos I made talking about that were trying to connect that idea. I'll only really make a legitimate theory video if I can actually connect some stuff story-wise to that character for it to make sense. It just comes off baseless if there's no connections there. So I tried my best to connect the Uta idea, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job considering I hadn't seen anyone else really try and talk about Uta being the original One-Eyed King and trying to connect some of the specific dots. So I tried my best regardless. This video, however, is going to build off that idea once again, and potentially the fight between three different individuals, but most likely just two at this point, which is Uta and Kaneki. Now, just a quick recap, the whole idea kind of stems from Uta actually being the original One-Eyed King, the Ghoul that was pushed underground by the V organization and the Washu family. He was also known as the Naga Serpent, and we actually seen a recent panel of him, a very small one. I'm not going to say he looks strikingly close to what Uta looks like, or maybe even Furuta, but there definitely is some resemblance there. It wouldn't completely be too far-fetched. The only problem with this and like the whole big mystery surrounding Uta is the fact that his aging process, the fact that he was younger, we seen a younger version of him, but regardless of that version, he's still kind of been the same. Like, that young version, like, he looks younger, but he's not that much different, you know? If we seen him as a child, sure, you know, that's different, but this was kind of in like what I think to be his late teens. I can't remember how old he was, so that's kind of like the biggest discrepancy out of this whole Uta idea in general. So realistically, the whole idea is Uta being the original One-Eyed King, and he was the Naga Serpent, and we found out that the Naga Serpent was killed or destroyed by the underground ghouls. They managed to destroy all the eyeballs, and that was it. They destroyed the structure. We never found out if anyone came out of it, you know, because a person has to be in one of those eyeballs. We found that out about Kaneki because he resides in one of these eyeballs, and the only way to destroy Dragon properly, or a structure of that caliber similar to Kaneki, is by destroying all the eyeballs. It's where the most prolific RC cells matter. It's like where everything's there, lying dormant. It's the DNA structure of everything, really. So the underground ghouls destroyed the Naga Serpent, and realistically they would have had to come across a body in one of these eyes, and it would have had to be in the main body. So two different things could have happened. The first one is that they found the body and they killed him, or the second thing, which could be more likely, is that they actually saved him. And you're probably thinking, why would they bother to save this person that just recently destroyed all of their, you know, work, their city, their community, whatever? Honestly, I don't know, but maybe they were more intrigued by this person actually controlling the Naga Serpent and being inside of it, compared to just straight up murking and killing him because of the fear they had for him. Maybe they nurtured him back to health. Maybe they brought him back and healed him up, unless he kind of escaped on his own. I guess that's kind of the third option, I should say, is he escaped after they destroyed the eyes or something. You know, he just left, just dipped out like nothing happened. So the way this kind of works, and the way I'm kind of picturing in my head, because it's kind of all over the place, there is a lot of stuff working in Uta's favor if he is the original One-Eyed King. The way I'm seeing it, right, if I am the original One-Eyed King and I have the V organization on my tail and I have the Washu on my tail, and they've recently just created the CCG to just oppose me, to try and destroy me, you best believe if I get out of this Naga Serpent alive, I'm gonna change my appearance. I'm going to look completely different than I originally was, to the best of my capabilities. Now, tell me something, who is one of the best characters to change their appearance in this story? It's fucking Uta. This man has changed his appearance so many different times. He even has an ability that allows him to swap his own face. That's very convenient, don't you think? Like, out of all the abilities you could think of in the Tokyo Ghoul universe, swapping faces? That's a very peculiar trait, and he can do it perfectly. He can mimic voices and everything. Not only that, he's also tattooed his eyes. Not really sure why, but if you kind of start putting the pieces together, if Uta's the original One-Eyed King, he's getting chased by the V organization, the Washu, they want to try and kill him, you best believe he's gonna be hiding to the best of his capabilities. He's gonna be changing his appearance. The original One-Eyed King is a half ghoul. Uta tattooed his eyes. The first big step to cover up one of the biggest discrepancies, whether someone knows you're a ghoul or not. The fact that they see one ghoul eye instead of two, they know straight away you're on some high level shit. Straight away, you're getting pointed out from the crowd. You have one ghoul eye and not two, so why not match it? Why not just tattoo another eye? He's tattooed it so it looks like they're constantly ghoul eyes. The first way he could hide his identity as a half ghoul. The second way is actually changing his face. Now, if you remember, Matsuki and Seiko are some of the most incredible people when it comes to manipulating their Kagane. What if Uta had this same degree, but like the next level? I mean, just look at Donato. Somehow, some way, Donato is able to create a perfect clone that can talk, that can even produce another Kagane just from using his finger. That's incredible, right? He's able to create a whole nother human being, basically, like a clone of himself, literally, that can actually take damage too, just by using a portion of his original body. So Uta developing a hiding, quote-unquote, tactic to hide himself, to hide his personality, to hide his potential original One-Eyed King status, the perfect thing would be changing your face, would be able to mimic any person that you could think of to the absolute perfect T, right? Perfection. Not only that, right? Because now you have all the hiding down, right? He can go through the entirety of the story being the original One-Eyed King, and we would never know because he's managed to hide himself so well from the V organization, from the people trying to chase him. It would make sense for why he would do these very peculiar stuff to himself, tattooing his eyes and being able to change his face so incredibly well, is because he's trying to hide from people. He's trying to lay low. But where this gets interesting is actually Uta being the original One-Eyed King again and actually trying to retake the mantle, because what we knew about the original One-Eyed King is that he wanted to start a revolution, kind of similar to Kaneki, but I believe the original One-Eyed King was a lot more proficient in terms of power striving, more so a dictator. He wanted to have all the power to himself. He wanted to control absolutely everything. Now, Kaneki's a little bit more level-headed than that, but that could all change soon if Kaneki comes out of Dragon completely changed. He might be the same to some degree. So if Uta is so prevalent of chasing power and controlling everything, it would be extremely smart for him to, once he lost his kind of capabilities, his throne being pushed underground, turned into dragon, what would be the best course to take to kind of recapture everything that you lost? You know, to capture the One-Eyed King title once again, to control everything once again. Uta's a smart character, and I feel like he would point out the fact that the best way to achieve that, trying to recontrol everything that he lost, is to let someone else take out the competition. V organization, the CCG, the Washu has all been taken out for Uta. And if Uta is the original One-Eyed King, you best believe he is excited about it. He's happy about it because the people that were originally chasing him potentially are half gone. The Washu's gone. They've been obliterated. Thanks to Furuta. Thanks to Uta. He was a part of that situation himself. I always wondered why would Uta work with Furuta to take out the Washu family? You know, how does that benefit Uta? How does that benefit Donato? You know what I mean? And we never really got an explanation for that. Uta helping Furuta take out one of his rivals? Easy. Not only that, we now have Kaneki, who is the current One-Eyed King, and the best way for Uta to eliminate everything and regain control all at once is to defeat Kaneki, is to destroy Kaneki, but only after Kaneki destroys the V organization, right? Because you can imagine if Kaneki were to completely take control of everything, Kaneki manages to obliterate the V organization somehow, maybe makes a deal with the CCG, there's only one step that Uta has to take. Instead of Uta versing the V organization, versing the Washu family, versing the CCG on all different terms to try and reclaim control, his best choice of action would be just to take out Kaneki after Kaneki done all that stuff for him. That's the way I think about it. That'd be a very smart way for a king returning into the story to try and reclaim the One-Eyed King title. Just let the current king do all the work, and then you come in and verse him. You come in and steal the title. But it's never that simple, right? It never is, because there's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different people that are unaccounted for, such as Furuta. And Furuta wants to control the future. Kaneki is the present, and he wants to create a future. But could Uta potentially be the past, trying to come into the present and control the future? I'll break it down once again, because that sounds a little bit complex. Uta is the past, Kaneki is the present, and Furuta is the future. And you have three conflicting motives, three conflicting heads, and all three characters potentially could want the same thing. They all want power, they all want to rule. The past being the original One-Eyed King, unfortunately losing and being buried underground, turning into this massive dragon structure. Kaneki, the present, doesn't, also turning into dragon and potentially being saved and opposing the V organization after he comes out. And then you have Furuta, who is completely unaccounted for, that destroyed his own family with the help of the V organization. What's going on here? Where are we going? Could you potentially picture a fight between the past, the present, and the future? Uta, Kaneki, and Furuta, all wanting the power, all wanting that One-Eyed King title. The V have been chasing the One-Eyed King title for a very long time, and if Furuta is trying to spearhead that, if Furuta is still working with the V organization potentially to gain that One-Eyed King title, he has to go through Kaneki. If Uta is the original One-Eyed King and wants to reclaim his power, he also has to go through Kaneki. And as you can see, Kaneki ain't trying to leave anytime soon. He ain't trying to stop and just give up his title, so you best believe he's gonna fight back. And then you have this massive fuckery of Kaneki versing Uta, versing Furuta, and just all their motives kind of being the same but having different roles and how they want to use it, and just overall their strive for power, their strive for their future goal. And whoever wins out of these three potentially controls the fate of the world, the fate of the future of ghouls even. You know, Kaneki wanting to morph the human world and the ghoul world together so they can live in harmony. Uta, if he is the original One-Eyed King, trying to control everything, controlling all the ghouls and ruling everything by fear, by power, by dictating. And Furuta trying to control both sides, the human world and the ghoul world, by eliminating all the things he doesn't want, by pushing the ghouls in this direction and pushing the humans in this direction, and him sitting in the middle as this perfect balance and controlling all the interactions between both worlds. Now, there is a lot of conflicting stuff here, I understand, but if you manage to take in all this information about Uta and potentially him being the original One-Eyed King and why he would want to fight Kaneki and why he would wait so long to kind of announce himself being the original One-Eyed King, it's so Kaneki can do everything for him. It would just be the smartest play. As much as I love this idea, for some reason I just don't see Ishida doing it. It could be very thought out, you know what I mean? It could be something that is one of those underlying stories that's been there since the beginning. By the first chapter we met Uta. It always could be. However, I feel like it's a little bit too choppy. Like it's too far and few between for the amount of times we've seen Uta. But then again, that's the beauty of Ishida's writing. He literally does not show anything. And it's extremely hard to tell what's going to be a prevalent story feature in the future if it's been there since the beginning. I think anything's possible at this point. I know a lot of people don't like the Uta being the original One-Eyed King idea. More so, it doesn't really bother me at this point. It's either going to be a character that we know per se, or a character that has a connection to a character we know, so it's kind of like somewhat of a big reveal, or they're not going to reveal it at all. The character's going to be dead, or the original One-Eyed King, I should say, is going to be dead, so, and that doesn't really matter. Now, with that being said, there is a lot of different ways Ishida could go, and I'm hoping this video has opened up the eyes on how the Uta situation could potentially work, and why he's been laying dormant for such a long time. I don't know, let me know what you think. How do you feel about Uta laying dormant and waiting for Kaneki to basically do all of this stuff for him so Uta can come back and destroy Kaneki in the end and reclaim full control, letting Kaneki destroy Uta's enemies, the V organization, the Washu family, letting Furuta also do that. I don't know, there's a lot there, a lot to think about. But with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching, but I am actually going to end the video off here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.